once again to Inspirational Wednesday with Fortune Jeba, where we talk about inspirational tips from the Word of God and where we get inspired every day. I'd like to discuss with us today the topic favor. Favor. Now, different people have different definitions to the word favor. But I'd like to tell a short story which happens to be my personal experience. I have some cats in my home, right? So before they started giving birth and then I started having a lot of cats in my home, initially used to have one that gave birth to two. And so when I gave the mother away, it was just left with these two kittens, which eventually became adults. And so I remember feeding them on a particular day, and I discovered that every time I throw meat, a piece of meat or some pieces of meat at them, a particular one was stronger, and so it will always eat up all the meat, and then the other cat will be left helpless. And so I decided to do something. I had this piece of meat with me, and I decided to watch the other cat ate all of the meat up. And whilst I threw some pieces on the floor, this other cat, which happened to be stronger, would always come around and try to eat up the meat. And of course, I would chase it away. And I stood there and made sure I watched the other weaker cat ate up all the meat. Now, what am I trying to say? Favor can be defined, as one investing their time, their credibility, and everything it is they have to make sure you're comfortable or to make sure you get what you want. And so that was what happened in that situation. Think about it. Try and imagine it, that somebody puts away everything they have to do and then just stay around and make sure you are comfortable, make sure you get a job, make sure you succeed in life. And that is the intent of God concerning us, his children. I want you to know that favor is far, far better than labor. Of course, it's a very common statement that we are familiar with. A lot of people like to invest their time, they like to labor, and of course, put the work of their hands to use. But when favor comes into it, it makes the difference. I saw a story in the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 6, from verse 1 to 11. It was a story of favor, even though, for the other family, it was pathetic because they lost their son. It was when David was bringing the Ark of Covenant, from Jabesh Gilead to the city of David. It was all this while in the house of a man called Jonadab. And so whilst bringing the Ark of Covenant to the city of David, his sons Ahiah and Uzzah drave the ark. And so at some point, because the donkeys or the animals carried the ark, it shook at some point, and Uzzah was trying to stop the ark from falling, put his hand into the ark, or to reach out to support the ark, and God was angry with him and struck him for his mistake. And so David was displeased, he was afraid, and decided that the ark should be carried aside and kept in the house of a man who made himself available, Mr. Obed-Edom. And so after 3 months, it was told David that the house of Obed-Edom had been blessed. Now look at it. In the house of Jonadab, there was no record of blessings. But in the house of Obed-Edom, he was blessed because the Ark of Covenant was kept with him for 3 months. People of God, favor will beautify your life. Favor will decorate you. Favor will make life easy for you. And I pray for you this moment that the mighty hand of God will rest upon you in favor. And so that whatever it is you lay your hands upon to do in life, God will favor you. He will raise men and women, boys and girls, to stick out their neck, to risk their life, to do everything within their power to make sure you are favored. I believe you've learned something today. Key into the favor of the Lord and you will never regret it. God bless you and have a lovely day. Bye-bye.